a carousel. I've built many carousels in just vanilla JavaScript over the years, but I've never done one in React since learning it. So I imagine it'll be much simpler. So let's see. We're gonna call this one, let's just call it Carousel Component React. A simple carousel component in React and Tailwind. Make it public. Add a README. Create the repo. Has anyone here built a carousel yet in React? In case I fail. I don't think I'll fail. It should be pretty simple. We'll see though. We shall see. CD code, git clone, paste that in. CD. Have you tried making a GitHub template to get a head start on these? I actually have one for my old stuff in all vanilla JavaScript. So I decided to build one here soon. I haven't gotten around to it yet. You have not done much with images at all. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Me neither. We'll see. Yeah, I actually have a command. I'd have to go take a look at my source file for it, but Brian helped me with it. I type in a command and boom, I got a full ready to go project that's Git tracked and everything, that has everything I need in it, but it's all set up for like vanilla JavaScript. I need to set up one for React so that this stuff's a lot easier. CD carousel component React npm create vite at latest. Let's also grab our Tailwind stuff again. Yeah, I'm seeing the seeing why I should definitely use a template. Carousel, like /next buttons and like a hover effects. Yep. Yeah, I'll make something really quick on Figma to kind of give us an idea, and maybe even just for time's sake, it might not even have images, but it'll have like slides that just go back and forth that you can carousel through, but you can add in images later if you want, kind of thing. So. Yeah. Where are we? Let's just code. Oh yeah, we need to set up the config. That's not the config. Lazy loading images too. I don't know, I've never done that before. I just found out recently you can lazy load components, so if the component doesn't render, it won't load in the component, which is pretty cool. And it's simple to do. It's apparently native to React. You just, at the top of the file, you import the file, but you specify, you like prefix it with lazy or something and set it up in a callback or something. Cool. All right, so that's good to go. Let's do npm run dev. Cool. It's ready to go. All right, so let's open up Figma. Also, let's update this. think it should auto update. Yeah, cool. All right, image carousel. Oh, we didn't add our little divider. I just noticed that. Oh well, it's not a super big. It's not a crazy part. Why can't I click? Oh, I think I locked it. Yeah, it's locked. Okay. Let's set up the background to something kind of bland, because I think each one of these items in here will be kind of purdy. We're gonna color those up. It's gonna be super simple. It's basically just gonna be, let's make sure this is all centered too. Okay, yeah, it's basically just gonna be a click, and this item here is gonna swipe to a new item based off of the index, and each one of these will be like a cool little color, and this will also be kind of bland, nothing too crazy, but we will have some icons again. We'll do these. Pop that in there. We'll do 45 degrees. Actually, I'm sorry, negative 90 degrees is what we need. We're gonna copy that. We're gonna paste it again, and this one's gonna just be 90 degrees. And that's basically gonna be it. Every time we click, it's gonna swipe to a new slide. Each slide will have a different color, so we know that we're on a different slide. And then we can just add images into it later if you want. Because honestly, the content inside could be anything. It could be text, it could be images, it could be links, whatever you want. I think this will be pretty simple. I don't know. I've said that many times on this stream that I think this will be a simple build, and it ends up being pretty hard. But yeah, let's get into it. Class name. I'm gonna say height screen with full BG Zinc 800. I'm gonna say grid, place items center, and then we're gonna create our little component and put it in there, and we should be ready to get started. We'll call it carousel.jsx. Go carousel. So the carousel will be very, very simple. It's gonna have like 3 elements inside. How do we want to label these though? Is the question. Call this carousel items. Right? I guess that like middle part, and then we'll just have nav button. Yeah. Honestly, we don't even need to make a component for this. We'll just make a button component. For now, we'll just put a minus sign. And this, for now, we'll just put a plus sign. And we need to make our carousel items component. I'm trying to think, should we even make it that complex? Yeah, I guess so. That's fine. Import carousel. Spell that right? Items from carousel items. And we need to go make it so it doesn't yell at me. Carousel items.jsx. Cool. Right off the bat, I know we're gonna want to set this up with flex. Flex justify between and items center. Cool. And then we'll have like a gap of like 5. Pretty big gap there. Also, let's set up these buttons. They should be very basic. Say class name equals, say size. Let's do 50 pixels. BG, let's just do BG black. We'll do an opacity, BG opacity of like 50. Grid, place items, center, and then text white. Oh, and we want to do rounded full. I think that works. How's that look compared to what we wanted? Yeah, let's make the background a little bit lighter. It's kind of dark. Do like 700. There we go. That looks cool. Why is that not in the center of these two items though? I thought I had item center set. Oh, item center. Items. There we go. Cool. All right, so carousel items. Say class name equals with full. Ugh. We're gonna have to set min widths on the buttons. Min width we'll set to 50 pixels. All right, so say with full, or set a max width of like 500 pixels maybe. Rounded LG. We're gonna do padding of like 5. The BG white for now. And do a min height too. We'll do like a min height of like 500 pixels as well. Max width set to 500. And I have the width set to full. Why is it so tiny? Is it the container? Oh, the container needs to be set to a width of full. There we go. And I guess we'll set a padding on this too, so that it doesn't look so crammed. Cool, that looks good. I don't like that height. That height's way too big for the carousel items. We'll say like max. I'm in min height of 300. Cool. And where are we doing the width full? Let's set a max width of actually, yeah, we'll say width full, and then we'll say a max width of like 600 pixels. And since we're using grid for the whole thing, it should always stay in the center. Cool, I like that. Looks pretty good. All right, so let's set up some state. Import use state. And I think for the slides, we'll just have a color for the slides. So a const items, and then set items. Actually, we're never gonna set the items, so let's use ref for this. Use ref. I lied, we are gonna be setting them, right? So we should have, we should use ref for all of the items. And then we should have an active item. So we'll say const active item index, and it's set active item index equals use state, which will initially be set to 0. And then I guess we could say const items equals use ref, and we'll have an array of objects. Yeah. And then we'll just have a title. We'll say item 1 and a color, which I guess we'll just make these kind of hard coded for now. And we'll have title. Oh wait, I need to close this out. And then comma. Title, item 2. And then color, say green. Like that. Cool. So actually active item is going to be not 0, but items 0 or items.current 0. I think this will work. What's it yelling at me for? Does this need to be before it? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay, so let's pass items. And let's also pass active item index and our set active item index to the carousel. And inside of the carousel, we're gonna pass, actually we're probably gonna just pass all of that. And I take that back. We are gonna set the index just to the index because we're gonna increment and decrement that number. Yeah, okay. So for the carousel item, I'm gonna pass in items and let's map over it and create our items, I guess. So say items.map item index return. Let's just div with a class name, and in here we'll have item dot title. I think we called it, right? And then in for the class name, well, let's set it up with a key too, real quick. So key equals index. Actually, let's set that up in a style. Well, let's see if it works with Tailwind class names. So we'll say BG. Does that work? We'll have to interpolate it, huh? We could say item dot color. I don't think that's gonna work. What are we? What's going on? Items.map is not a function. Items equals items.current. Passing that to carousel items. That's in carousel. Carousel items. Oh, I need to destructure this. That should work. But it says items is undefined. On line 4. Oh wait. We don't need this dot current in here. We just need it here. True. Okay. All right, so I got both of our items in here, but we're not getting those background colors. I figured that wouldn't work. So let's just remove that. We will need some class names though, so let's leave that part in. But I think we can just do like a style tag, right? Can I say background color and equal title dot color? I'm sorry, items dot item dot color. Would that work? Or is it styles? Wait, we don't need none of that, actually. There we go. So for the class names, let's set width full, height full, block. That's not actually no. Let's take this out for a sec. Because we could just set the min height to the same as we're setting the parent. Cool. Let's take all that padding out of here though. But for this, we're gonna say grid and place items center. And we're also gonna say overflow hidden on the parent. Okay, so that's just one item. So if I go and bring back our other thing, we're not gonna see it. Oh, we do see it. I thought we set overflow to hidden though. Oh, that was the min height. So if we set if we say the height is 300 pixels too, we won't see it. Cool. Okay. So now we need to figure out how to show the right item. First off, let's increment and decrement numbers based off of the amount of items we have first, and then that part should be pretty easy afterwards, I believe. Okay, so on the first button, let's set an on click, and this is to decrement. So on click, set active item index. And we're gonna want to run some logic in here actually. I wonder if I can do all of that in here. Console.log hello world. Set active item index is not a function. It is. Oh, what am I doing? We'll say active item index is not equal to, wait, if it is equal to 0, just want to return. I can't do all of that logic in there. We'll say new index, right? So we're gonna create that. So let's do something here. Let's say if active item index is equal to 0, return 0. Wait a minute. Set active item index to 0. Because we don't want to keep going down, right? Else, we want to say active item index. No, I'm sorry. What am I doing? Set active item index to prev -1. I think that's how that works, right? Let's see if that works. Set active item index is not a function. Am I not using it correctly? It is spelled right. We don't need that in here. Set active item index is not a function. Let's ask Copilot. Set active item index is not a function. I'm getting error. What is wrong with my code? No, that's what I have. That's so weird. I don't know why it's not saying it's a function. Explain this. Oh. This needs to be in an array. Now it should work. Cool. It does, but it kind of doesn't. Well, it's not doing anything. Let me check the state. So right now it's set to 0 and nothing's happening, which is good. That means nothing should happen. So if this was 5, it should actually decrement. So cool, and it does. And when it gets down to 0, nothing happens. Perfect. So now let's increment. So we can say on click. And what we can do is if active item index is equal to, what do we call our items? Items, well, it's just in here as items. So items dot length minus 1. Then we want to set active item index do we want to restart it? Yeah, let's just restart it. Or nah, let's not restart it. We can add that feature in later. So if active item index is equal to our items.length minus 1, then we want active item index to stay at items.length minus 1, right? Else set active item index to active, well, previous. How did I do that? And then we could say previous plus 1. I think that's gonna work. We'll see. So currently it's set to 0. If I go up, it goes to 1, 2. All right, well, it just stays on 1 because that's all we got. And then go back to 0. So cool. That's working. So now we just have to show the correct item from our items ref, which should be very, very simple now. We do have our active item number getting passed to the carousel items component, so that's awesome. So in here, instead of mapping over every item, let's, how do we want to do that actually? What if we said items? We need the active item index, right? Dot title. Okay, so items 2, cool. Item 1, item 2, nothing happens. Go down, cool. Keep going down, nothing happens. Nothing in there, so good. We've got this figured out. Now we just need to set up the styles. So style equals, we'll say background color is equal to items active item index dot color, right? Cool. But we're not re-rendering this component, which means I can't add any animations, unfortunately. But that shouldn't be a hard fix if we want to do it. We'll say height 300 pixels. Say padding 10. Actually, no padding. We'll just say grid place items center. Cool. So item 2, item 1. These look pretty bad though. Let's get some cool colors from Figma. We'll do 4. You know we gotta go with the purple, right? And we'll go to blue, finish it off. That's cool. Spell item and not items. And now it should just work. 2, 3, 4. But nothing happens if I keep going. Cool, cool, cool. Let's set these up with the right icons. Let's also do an arrow right. Cool, now we got our arrows. And it just works. No animations because we're rendering like just different class names for each. But it would still basically work the same. You'll have like an image source inside, and you would just update the source based on the active item index. Cool. So that was a lot simpler than I thought, honestly. But like I said, we'd have to actually render a component or render some markup instead of just changing some values to have like the actual animations. But I'm not going to do that today. But cool. We have a carousel. Init commit. Such awesome commit messages, right? All right, all we got left now is a hamburger menu